Welcome back to the Best in the World podcast. We haven't been doing as much lately because I've been focusing on the 2K universe mode. But here we are with my boy tcupz and this
So,
guy over here, DB. No, now. So here tonight we're probably gonna talk about what you guys did to begin your career, how you are now, what you're proud of, what you believe you need to is gonna go happening in your career, if you think you're gonna go pro someday in real life or stuff like that. Um because I know you said you don't want to get that personal.
oh no, it's
You
fine.
don't
If
have
it's
to
like that,
answer.
then I'm fine with
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I do want to be a wrestler when I'm
Yeah.
older. Um,
Okay.
been practicing moves and I created my own finisher. So like a power slam while they're on the shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
It, it
Running
and
past one.
you flip them around. It's like an F5, but like on the shoulder.
What you could do is like when you do that, their head goes right here, and you drop
Into a
down
DDT.
into a DDT.
Their head usually goes over the other shoulder, so like spin around my body and then go on the other shoulder.
That's just a thought of what I've had.
Yeah.
But if
Talking
I
about
was,
that. Yeah.
I would
I'll
I
let
would
you
love
talk.
to become a wrestler. I would love to become a wrestler, but I also have other ideas of what I'd like to do too. Like I'm a musician in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
If
know
I
because
I
I've
love
seen you play the guitar. I have a
I don't
piano myself.
I don't even play the. It's not even that I play. I do like I'm a vocalist more than a guitarist, but I can still play guitar sometimes. Really just depends, man. But
Yeah.
I'd but I feel like if you just put your mind to really anything, we can do so. You can do really whatever.
I mean, yeah, I'm at the age where I should be getting my permit soon. As soon as I get that, I could probably start my actual career in wrestling. There's a few me and my mom went around. We talked to a few companies. There was this one that said maybe. So if I do end up getting my lessons, hopefully that does end up happening. But if I did that, I probably won't have enough time spending with all of the VR chat wrestling community with BWE, CZWE, KWE, BFG, all of them companies.
Well, you have to
Yeah,
grow up sometime. It's not gonna always be
exactly.
just this. Maybe for Cozy, but
Yeah, there's some people that
because he's like
yeah,
26. He does this. And he still does this. Probably
yeah.
mostly because he's probably already paid his dues and he can just do this, whatever.
Hey,
It's
if
really
he
that.
loves that in life, then he loves doing this in life.
But yeah,
But
you're always gonna find something that makes you like something. But yeah, you continue.
okay, so now we're probably gonna talk about what began started your wrestling career, what company you joined first. If you want to talk about that, if you want to say it, you can. If you don't want to, you could keep it mysterious, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll start first. My first company that I ever joined was WCW, where that was JoJo's company, and I won my first championship there as Cierro Mierro Pinta. I don't play Penta anymore, sadly, because everybody plays him, all that, and I'm not a great Penta player, but the first person I ever played as though was Ricochet. That kind of died down quick because I realized he's not the person that I'm locked onto. When I kind of searched out through all the wrestling people, I didn't pick CM Punk because he's a big wrestler. I've said this on my last podcast. I picked him because I go by what he says. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs. His addiction is wrestling. I kind of go on that same path as well. So, tcupz, do you want to start first?
Sure. I started getting into the wrestling industry back in 2024, but right before WrestleMania 40. Found this guy that wanted to start a company. Started off as the undisputed champion. Then went over, and then I gained the United States Championship. My main character at the time was Cody Rhodes. Just starting out was Cody Rhodes, and I eventually evolved into Sami Zayn. It's whatever. Sami Zayn just struck me. That Sami Zayn was awesome, and then I ended up joining this guy's company. He merged it with WECW. It was called EVW or SEW. Before it, they merged. Then I met Alan in JoJo. But as soon as they had like an argument, I went to SEW. Mm-hmm. And at SEW, I went. Then it get transitioned to WECW. And retired like 3 times. I was not really a great wrestler there, but then I came back every single time. And then as soon as I came back for the final time, they said that, oh, we're now like in BWE. I was like, what's BWE? And they go, Big Red's company. And I decided to join it. So here I am.
Okay. No. Did B?
Well, I kind of started maybe around like 2 or 3 years ago. In virtual wrestling. But what struck me as me just getting into wrestling in general was hearing about wrestling, what you can do, and so I decided to start wrestling at my school. Mm-hmm. Did amateur wrestling. Then there was, and then I started watching WWE, and WWE just struck me in a way that nothing else would. So like I took a really big liking to Cody, Jey Uso, the Bloodline just in general. And I started seeing WWE history and stuff.
Yeah, my dad agree with you on the wrestling in real life part. I did amateur wrestling as well, like mat wrestling, like Olympic kind of wrestling. I've been doing that for like 8-10 years now, around that range. When I was a kid, I thought that was like actual WWE wrestling. I didn't know any better. But when I kind of went through that, I kind of gone into it. I was like, yeah, that is not actually WWE wrestling. And that was kind of one of my funny parts because I wasn't a smart kid. I wasn't a smart kid at all, but
let's be honest, none of us can really
like football.
Yeah.
Hey, Vince.
Another thing.
Yeah, I do gotta head out. So.
Okay.
Well, see you guys.
We could probably finish this some other time. We'll continue with Ballmaster.
But yeah, then I got a VR in 2023. Then I met another friend of mine called Aiden VR. He introduced, like, I think maybe 2 years later, Aiden, either like a year or 2 years later, Aiden introduced me to like virtual wrestling. And I figured, like, I knew that there were wrestling worlds and avatars and stuff. Yeah. But whenever I joined them, I would just lag. I never knew that there was an actual community for it. And Aiden introduced me to it. I'm very happy that Aiden VR did. And then he introduced me to the owner of FWE, Future Wrestling ENT. I tried out I asked if I could be Cody. I asked if I could be all these things. He told me no because they were already taken, which is understandable. They were probably
Yeah.
one of the more popular ones. Then I asked to be Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio was probably the first dude who stuck out to me. He was, he's still wrestling too, and he's like he's in his 50s.
Correct. Yeah.
And I tried out to be Rey Mysterio. I got it. Weird thing though, I never wrestled in FWE. I never wrestled in there.
Then
Reason
do
being
it.
is because
I
I
mean,
figured
that's-
out.
yeah.
Reason being is because I didn't really. I don't really know how to say this. It wasn't more of me not being booked. It was more of like, as soon as I figured out that I could own my own company, I met this guy called I Hate BF. We became really good friends. We were talking about creating a wrestling company. We decided to create a company called SSW.
Yeah.
SSW
SSW
called
Serious
the name
Shit
was
Wrestling.
called Serious Shit Wrestling. Yes, I was 13, by the way, when I thought of this name. So it sounded good in my head, and it sounded good in BF said, because he gave me the idea of having a wrestling company called SSW, but I didn't know what to think of it.
I
And
mean,
then I was
yeah,
thinking,
I tried starting my own company before. Awesome Championship Wrestling, ACW. I mean, I still can, but like that sounds kind of corny too, because I believe I was like, I've been doing this for 4 years, so I was like 15, 14, 15 when
SSW?
I started.
Yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to get ACW because I have this custom arena. There's this guy that said that he will make it, and I could pay him as soon as I seen it. He never ended up making it, but it's fine.
I had the same thing with me with BF. He promised me VR Chat Plus for a year, so we could create the group. Did not happen, but you know what? I'm actually quite happy because we ended up making an amazing company. He's the original co-owner though. I'm giving props to him for supporting me and doing that and helping me and stuff. I don't talk to him anymore because I haven't seen him in a while. Well, but I will always remember him as probably the first person who helped me. And SSW around like 2024, 2025, it became one of the more bigger companies.
Yeah.
And then I decided to rename it to SEW. We also around that time kind of started going downhill because this new company called KWE, Cozy
Yeah, I ended
Wrestling
up joining that.
Entertainment.
I
He
got in
he went into a
as
tryouts. He went into a tryouts world of mine and straight up represented his company. He said that he doesn't wrestle with his own characters and he just does GMing and just owning the company. That's it. Which now is a total lie. He is current. I'm pretty sure he's currently and still his own world heavyweight champion.
I don't know about that one, but
As far as I know,
am in KWE. I'm in
yeah.
VFG,
I'm
BWE, like big
and
company.
problem is with KWE is that everybody in there, well, except for you and some other people, that they are so cocky, and I don't like that. And
There's like a handful of people. Like there's like only like 5. I'd say at least minimum 3. They're
it was
not cocky in
when
the ring. They're just like cocky, like for
it
some reason.
was
I don't know
it was
why.
around the time when they started getting popular though. But
Yeah.
then after that happened, what I decided to do is I decided to end SCW because of it. Because I wasn't getting people. I got most of my people stolen from KWE by KWE. I ended it and I decided to just be an indie wrestler, joining companies and companies, just chilling and doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Then
I've
I thought,
been
why?
in KWE a few times, but you know, it
But
wasn't
then,
good until
but
pretty
then I
recently.
created another company, which I renamed SEW, Serious Extreme Wrestling. It was pretty much the same thing, same aspects and stuff of SSW. Kept going, and then we go to 2025, June 22nd, when I woke up, I got woken up by a police officer, got told that my dad died. And so I just decided to scrap everything from SEW and I decided to create GDW. I'm not going to get much into my dad's passing because we don't want to hear about that. We want to focus on this podcast. But that's all
Yeah.
that's from me of how I started.
Yeah, I remember when that happened, you weren't really in a good mental state and stuff.
I mean,
But
who would be? Let's be
that's fair.
honest. Who would be?
I mean, I can't really say I feel what you felt because I have never
Yeah.
had my dad pass away, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I'm sorry about that. I know you had a few people around with you when that happened. You moved into some other family.
I moved
But,
into my mom's trailer. I've been living with them for literally a year now. I'm currently living in a hotel, but I still like it, and I'm currently making music, etc. And I'm currently on my retirement, my BWE retirement tour as Coda.
I'm thinking maybe Coda should go against Elijah Neal. Maybe I don't know. But anyways, if you guys don't know who Coda and Elijah Neal is, it's basically our own custom characters that we've like made. People made Avies from. We basically make them their own personalities, OCs if you know what they are. Basically stuff like that.
I'm
Own
currently
moves,
wearing
sets, characters, and stuff like
like
that.
a promo version of him that I use.
Yeah.
It's just what I use for promo. But yeah,
Xavion Gamer. Shout
yeah.
out to Xavion. Talking about that, you know what? How about I turn into Elijah Neal? Because you know, it's really exciting being your own character. The only thing is like obviously you're not gonna like be high talent like Roman
No,
Reigns, Seth Rollins and all that.
you
When
just
I first joined your company, that was kind of a big step in my career because that's when I became, quite known. That's when I started joining
yeah.
VFG. I was one of the first people to join VFG. I've won a couple of titles. Soon, well, I could say close to be Grand Slam champion. I just need trophy, junior heavyweight championship, and the global elite, all elite championship, and that. But I play the way I play Elijah Neal is this not really aggressive type, but this type of guy that's not really understood in a way,
Yeah.
because he has a complicated family line. He was basically adopted by a family, the Davises, which Tay Davis is his biological brother, quote unquote. So is Mike Vega. They're kind of like, brothers that been together all time until he figured out he was actually Samoan, Elijah Neal. And he kind of went from there. He joined the IOP in DCW.
Oh yeah,
I've
screw.
joined DCW once before, and then I kind of
Just gonna
went
say
into
this.
that. Yeah.
Just gonna say this. Fuck DCW.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can't really
I'm
say
sorry.
anything about
I love some of the people in there. They're really good people,
Mhm.
but Angel King, Rayolas King, whoever they are, he can go fuck himself.
I have a bowl of macaroni in my ass. Oh, come on.
Anyways, so basically, just I'd say, in a way, custom characters, the OCs, kind of give people a way of coping through stuff. I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know if it worked with you. It kind of worked through me when my grandma
It
passed.
it
So
really
that
just
kind of
depends
affected me
on
a
how
bit.
it happens.
Yeah. So like, there's that. So you kind of explained your way, did the whole thing right there. Kind of explained the beginning, uh, where it was in the middle, but how is SS or SEW going? SSW, SEW going on right now? Like, how is that going?
Well, right
How is
now
that?
we don't have anything going with that. I would
Okay,
love.
so
Don't get me
yeah.
wrong. I would love to do that again. I would love to do that again. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
Problem is that I'm I don't really have anybody that I can trust. I don't have any, like, most of the actual good talent has been poached
Yeah.
by the main wrestling things like WWR, KWE,
Rest in peace, WWR.
VHW.
Speaking of WWR,
Oh,
had to
what
go down
is
because
WW
of
is
yeah,
oh
it
WWR is
had
not
to
a
go
thing
down
anymore?
because of let's just say a few people, the owner and co-owner, I believe, both retired, so now they're on to a different company. The people that used to be like admins made a new company like WWR. Sadly, that was gone. So I'm the forever champion in WWR as Jacob Fatu, forever US champion. That's a good thing on my resume. Well, on VR chat. So
It's good for
there's
you that
that.
you could actually call yourself a forever champion, though. It's awesome.
Yeah,
And
there's
I get a lot
yeah.
of people can call themselves forever champions.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people. It's not an everyday experience that people could say that, especially with a big company like WWR. People were saying, "Oh, WWR is going to be the next company after KWE goes down because KWE is going to go down soon, I believe, at some point this year."
It it
Sadly
did
for
go
my
down.
part,
It did go down, but then it
yeah,
went
it
back
did
up
go
for
down.
some weird reason.
Um, we haven't done any shows lately, so there's that. But the person that I joined KWE for was Elijah Brooke. So he was basically a newer person in ECW. And I have an action figure. So when I was a kid, I had an action figure of Elijah Brooke, and I was like, what is this thing on his forearm that said, it's always said 4 up. And I was like, I wonder who this is. So I kind of looked it up and I figured out who he was, who he is. He used to be in ECW. He had a whole faction wars going on with ECW originals and stuff. So just like CM Punk, I see myself in him in a way. He sadly quit doing WWE because he was in ECW and WWE. He quit that in the old after that whole Chris Benoit situation that I probably don't think we should get fully into.
Yeah.
Um, but that was his last match, and he was pretty devastated about that. So he just wrestles in the indies now, and I still love what he's doing. There's a lot of indies wrestlers out there that people people always watch WWE, AEW, but there's all these great talents down in in the
Yeah.
indies. WWR, like everybody just now gets their attention on BDE because he just now starts it. He gained his popularity by being on social media, like Brent Oakley, like Chris Danger, and all that. So
Yeah.
there's that going on.
I also think so like back to like the virtual wrestling community. I think there could be another possibility of another company in the late future that one of my friends wants to help that one of my friends wants to work on with me called KVWE.
Mm.
He wants it to be called Coda Vibes Wrestling Entertainment or Extreme. I'm not entirely sure. Sure.
That's good. That's happening because I've never really been a big company guy myself. I've been a GM and stuff, but when I first tried to do that ACW stuff, nobody showed up, so I kind of gave up on that. So like for all the owners that's doing all this company stuff, I give props to them even if I don't like the company. I still give the owners props for doing all that. Even when the company is down
Well,
at its worst, they kept on going and stuff.
it was kind of a thing of like even if sudden one thing doesn't work out, just keep going. Simple as that. Even if one thing doesn't work, you want to keep going, even though it doesn't work. It's okay that it doesn't work. Just keep on going.
Yeah. Um. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. I feel like there's for this grace period for this year and last year, everything's been the same except companies. The only thing about having these big companies is that all these small companies don't get the loving and all the stuff that they should get and stuff like that. That's the only thing I think people should focus on the smaller communities. Like in real life, people need to start looking at the indies and all that. That's what that got me into Myron Reed. That got me into Lee Moriarty. I'm not like a guy that is into Lee Moriarty a lot. I've seen a bit of his stuff. That's what got me into Elijah Burke, for crying out loud. Kevin Knight, he's in AEW though, so that was a thing. I
Are there
guess
any
there's
more?
bit of things, yeah.
Yeah. Are there any more questions you have for me?
Um, I think that's it. So, probably see you at some other time. And
Yep.
if not, we had a good conversation. It'd be really
Definitely.
good to look back on this. And
Yeah.
I hope you have a good day. And the Best in the
Hey,
World podcast. See
hey,
you
before.
guys.
Hey, hold on.
So,
Before we go, I do want to say this. Make sure to go and see BWE. Yeah, and go watch my Custom Coda's retirement tour.
so you heard it
Make
here
sure.
tonight. Retirement tour. Talking about retirement tour. That's sadly my wrestling soulmates ended demise when I did mine VWE. I kind of retired from that, and when I did that, that kind of you know told me something because of this guy named Cryptics. We've done Best in the World podcast with the Cryptics. If you're watching this, shout out to you, dog. Love you. We're gonna talk to you again if you ever get on. Give me a call, send me a message or what. But it's kind of been hard without him because he's like CM Punk, like John Cena. John Cena has said CM Punk is his wrestling soulmate. Cryptix is literally John Cena to me. So just saying that makes me kind of emotional a little bit because the Cryptix is probably my best friend, the person I talk to the most in the wrestling community. Sadly, he's gone now, so there's never.
Mhm.
I don't really have like a right hand man now. I mean, there's always these people you talk to. There's always friends you make, but there's not always the same guy that you meet every day. There's not this guy that you met once and you always hit it off with them and you've been with them all the time since. So
I'd
that's
say somebody like that for me might be There Goes Jay. I've known him since SSW, and I've been chill with him ever since. We're not wrestling soulmates, I know that much, but I'd say we're probably one of the more closer friends.
yeah. So hey, that's the Best in the World podcast. You heard him here tonight. Go to BWE, watch Coda's retirement tour. Hell, even come around. If you have a VR headset, if you don't, that's fine. You just watching this just to watch it. Hell, if you have a VR headset, download VR chat. Listen, you don't even have to wrestle. Just talk to the wrestling chat community. It's all love at the end of the day. It's not just, oh, we all hate everybody. No, it's all love, no hate at the end of the day. And Best in the World out. Peace.